It is now 3 o'clock local time, and it is now the penultimate heat for DD2. Race 13 of the meeting, heat 2 out of 3. Your grid is as follows. On pole position, having won the first heat earlier on, is Poland's Sebastian Janczewski. Daniel Mahacek from Austria will line up on the front row alongside. Row 2 will be Denmark's Silas Litter and Germany's Niklas Krenz. Matthias Lund from Denmark and Manuel Tanschert round out the top 6 positions, as Mick Knowlton from the Netherlands and Mark Bartels from Germany will complete the top 4 rows. Rounding out the top 10 positions will be Peter Bezel and Jakub Bezel, both representing the Czech Republic. Wotan Tonnesen and Jordi Klebold complete the top 12, ahead of Maxime de Hitch and Nicolas Picot, with Picot making up 12 positions to take the runner-up spot in the earlier heat. Glenn Van Parijs and Zenderua will complete row number 8 with Luke Schiepers, Jan Nigersons, DJ Liveris and Ville Vililainen from Finland, rounding out the top 20. Completing the 25-strong grid will be Oliver and Florian Breitenbach, Johan Andersson, Friedrich Jerich and Zander Schiblak. Ten minutes on the clock on the gantry above the start-finish line, and once again the red light is ignited, ready to go out when we get a clean start. Air temperature now 36 degrees Celsius. The drivers now coming through into the approach to the 12th and final turn of the 1,360 meter circuit, called the home of champions for a reason. We now head into the tram lines. Wait for it, get ready, get set, let's go racing as we now get underway into turn 1, and everyone makes it through. Oh, multiple carts involved. I think I counted 2. And don't tell me that isn't Zander Schiblak that's just been compromised. No. Oh, there's more carnage. Off of turn number 3 and into 4. One driver's got a bumper that is hanging to the right and trailing on the ground. So we had one driver coming off of the saw end off of turn number 2. And that driver is out of the kart. So Janczewski gets a good start once again, as it looks like we'll have 2 RS competition karts in the top 3, and it is between Silas Litter and Matthias Lund, as it is all going haywire outside of the top 10. As Pico again has sprung up the order like a rat up a drain pipe. He's gone up from 14th to 6th in 1 lap alone. Mahacek drops down to 7th. Zenderua already up to 12th place, and the driver that came out the wrong way out of turn 2 is Glenn Van Parijs from Belgium. As now they are still scrapping, and I know it's survival of the fittest, but come on, you need to really get through these 3 heats to really maximise your opportunity ahead of the 2 finals tomorrow. Okay, it is racing, but a championship assault is a marathon, not a sprint. But you tell that to a racing driver, you tell that to a driver that's competed at the 24 Heures du Mans, you will be told it is a 24-hour sprint. You are pushing every single step of the way. You are nailing every braking point. You are nailing every apex. You're nailing the power at the right time when you're coming out of the corner. And at the back part of the field, I see the likes of Zander Schiblak still struggling. Ville Vilainen all the way down into 24th position. as the drivers now starting to make their way through. Nicolas Picot still in 6th position. He's behind, looks like Nicolas Krenz and Marc Bartels, as everyone trying to go single file towards the back part of the field. And in the middle of the 5-kart train at the back looks to be possibly Zolov Triblak, having, I think, maybe you've gotten past Friedrich Jerich from KSB Racing Team. Janszewski isn't getting away like he did in the first race earlier on. Gap was 4 tenths. It's now gone up to 6.5 tenths, as now it is concertinaing between 2nd and 6th. And I've just seen that Mick Knowlton's having a good run this time around. He's actually catching Daniel Mahacek for 7th position quite quickly indeed. As there was a move up the inside through into, and that is Nicolas Picot. He's got past, that is Marc Bartels. So that's 142 competition kart that Nicolas Picot from Dames Racing has got past. Now he's got the other one to deal with. But the one behind could mount a counter-offensive that Nicolas Picot might not see coming. However, you know that Nicolas Picot is very well versed in karting. So the experience he brings here is unexplainable, I think is the term I'll use here. But Nicolas Krenz is closing on Matthias Lund for 3rd place. As now it's getting ever so much closer. And at the end of that train, I think that's, yeah, that's Zenderua. Zenderua now up into what is 11th position. DJ Liveris languishing down the order behind looks to be Jakub Bezel. So those two are battling away for 12th position. Leaders now making their way through turn 8. Janszewski has started to open up a gap of around 8.5 tenths of a second. Silas Ritter, Matthias Lund, Nicolas Krenz, Nicolas Picot, Marc Bartels, Mick Knowlton now up into 7th, having got past Daniel Mahacek from Austria. And at the moment, Manuel Tenchert will be battling tooth and nail with his fellow countryman very shortly. And that is for 8th place. Peter Bezel not too far behind and is bringing along Zenderua to the party. As up the inside of that was Marc Bartels goes Mick Knowlton. Up for P6 goes the Dutchman. And that was through turn 2, made the move stick by turn 3, as Jakub Bezel is making it very difficult for DJ Liveris from Greece to get past for 12th place. We've also had another retirement in the form of Willy Line, and so he joins Glenn Van Parijs on the sidelines. Down to 23 drivers, but then 2 have dropped down the order. Luke Schiepers and Jordi Klebold have also dropped down. Yanni Gustens in the meantime, after the not even making it toward, he got to the outside of turn 1, having been forced wide, and then his race ended abruptly. The Belgian currently running in 15th position. Leader now crossing the line to complete lap number 6. 4.5 minutes to go as everyone gets their head down, including Silas Ritter, Matthias Lund, Nicolas Krenz. Nicolas Picot is closing. Mick Knowlton has just set the fastest lap of the race, and he is behind the Frenchman. Into turns 3, 4 and 5 comes the 493 from GKS Lemons Power. Mick Knowlton was our inaugural vice champion for CD Rotax in 2018 and made the move to DD2, and he's made the move up the inside of Picot for P5 there through turn 7. Nicely done. So Knowlton really has got some pace. He's put the fastest lap of the race in as well, 54.640. So Mick Knowlton, having started down in 7th position, he is now up into 5th place, having dropped a little bit further down the order. In the meantime, Peter Bezel is trying to, has been passed by Zenderua. So Derua looking to get another solid finish to put himself in contention for the 2 finals tomorrow. They'll have one more heat after this one, and that will take place at 5:45 Central European summertime, or 17:45 local time here in Belgium. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go on the clock. Janszewski has managed to just power away from the start and get a gap, and has done that convincingly here. Silas Ritter, 3rd place at the Winter Cup back in Karting Campos on debut in DD2, has really started to come good, even after a few races. But it's about adaptability sometimes in Rotax racing circles. When you move up a class, And when you look at it, Silas Ritter has got up 2 and has definitely taken to it like a fish to water. Nicolas Picot now falling into the clutches once again. This time it will be Marc Bartels from 42 competition representing Germany in the 488. Zenderua trying to make some moves forward and looks to try and get past Daniel Mahacek and has done the job. Up into 9th goes Zenderua. They've got just over 2 minutes remaining running order at the minute. Janchevsky leads from Ritter, Lund, Grens, Knowlton, Picot, Bartels, Tenschat, Mahacek, Derua. Well, it's Derua, Mahacek on this occasion. Peter Bezel, DJ Liveris, Jakob Bezel, Maxim de Rich, Oliver Breitenbach, Jan Nigussens, who's now drops down to 16th after being passed by the 422 from Nies Racing. Johan Andersen behind Florian Breitenbach. Zander Schiblak up into 19th position with Wout Antonissen and Frederik Jerich being the last of the 21 drivers still running. So we've had Jori Klevod, Luke Schiepers, Ville Villelainen and Glenn Van Parijs. Unfortunately retired from this race. Glenn Van Parijs didn't even make it past the exit of turn 2. Ended up going into the infield. As sideways, absolutely sideways there for Marc Bartels, I believe. Through into turn 7. Nice pickup by the broadcast team there. But went way too hot into turn 7 and lost out. And as a result of that, that has meant that, that was definitely sideways more than what I could count. So that is now, Marc Bartels has allowed Manuel Tenschat and Zenderua to get past. So those two in our 7th and 8th respectively. 34 seconds on the clock to go, plus an additional lap. Janchevsky now has a healthy lead of 1.7 seconds. Silas Ritter and Matthias Lund make it 2 Danes in the top 3 so far. Time will expire before the lap is completed, I would expect. 15 on the clock, plus 1 lap. So this time around, I think that Janchevsky will be on the verge of a 2nd successive victory. So it's been a pretty good result for the Polish driver so far, running on the Tony Kart chassis, as we now complete the 11th and penultimate lap of this race. On to lap 12 goes Janchevsky on the 483. Ritter in 2nd, Lund in 3rd, Grens trying to catch up in 4th. Mick Knowlton not too far behind the German. Nicolas Picot still sitting in 6th, having started 14th. Manuel Tenschat in 7th. Zenderua in 8th. Marc Bartels and Petr Bezel ran out the top 10. DJ Liveris gets past Daniel Mahacek for 11th position. The Higgs and Schiblak get past Antonissen on that last lap. So the 415 from Belgium down into 20th position. There's now the checkered flag for the 2nd time in the 2nd successive heat here in DD2. Will wave for Sebastian Janchevsky of Poland. Silas Ritter takes 2nd ahead of teammate and countryman Matthias Lund. So it's an RS competition 2-3. Niklas Keynes and Mick Knowlton round out the top 5 positions. With the top 10 completed by Petr Bezel. But Sebastian Janchevsky takes a 2nd successive win here in DD2. Silas Ritter in 2nd. Matthias Lund in 3rd. Niklas Keynes in 4th ahead of Mick Knowlton. Nicolas Picot. Manuel Tenschat, Zenderua, who started down in 16th position and finished in 8th. Marc Bartels in 9th, Petr Bezel in 10th. DJ Liveris from Greece in 11th, ahead of Daniel Mahacek from Austria, Jakob Bezel from the Czech Republic, Belgium's Maxim de Rich, the 2 brothers Breitenbach, Oliver ahead of Florian, rounding out the top 16, Jan Nigussens, Frederik Jerich, Zander Schiblak, Wout Antonissen, and Johan Andersson rounding out the 21 that finished, with retirements from Jori Klevod, Luke Schiepers, Ville Villelainen and Glenn Van Parijs.